Hey guys, it's Carletta from Body Candy, and today I am creating another cookie cutter bath bomb, but this time it is for Valentine's Day. As you can see, I have a few already made here. Well, if I could get one up. These are pretty fresh, so I don't want to shake them up too much. Um, and I've already made my mix to save time. I'm sorry I sound like a little piggy, but if anybody is familiar with SLSA, you guys know that it's a little strong. So I try to keep SLSA and some of the other, um, powdery substances from being completely 100% inhaled while I'm making a product because it makes my allergies like super crazy. So if you guys have seen any of my other demos of me using the cookie cutter method, you know it's pretty basic. I use a ratio of 91% alcohol, and then I do like maybe a teaspoon or so in regular distilled water just to get started, because it has to be a certain kind of mixture when you're making these kind of bath bombs, because the mix, it can dry out really fast and then you won't have any moisture. But the water, for some reason, for me, it kind of helps. So basically, that's how I get it done. So I'm gonna get started here. I have my mix here, and I also have dried roses, fresh dried roses in here, and I have lavender oil and olive oil in here. We have some goat's milk for some extra moisture, and we have a little bit of pressed hemp seed, just a little bit. And of course, we have pink Himalayan sea salt. You guys know I don't live without that. And we also have regular plain Epsom salt. So let's get started. So here I have my cookie cutter. As you can see, well, as you cannot see, let me change my camera a bit. Okay, I think that's good. And what I do is I take my cookie cutter, but before I get started, I usually dust my area with baking soda, and I also just run a quick little dry dust around the cookie cutter just because I can, and it makes me feel better that nothing's getting stuck inside of my cookie cutter. Okay, so then I take a handful of mix, I dump it in. Hope you guys can see that. Move it up some until it's partially filled, and then I start lightly pressing. These also, if I missed that before, had SLSA in them for a double bubble is what I call it, because the goat's milk, it definitely is another additive that does make the bath bomb bubble. So that's also in here. So I press it down as much as I can. I don't get too crazy. I used to get really crazy back in the day and get, super aggressive, but it doesn't really take a bunch of aggressiveness to do it. Press it down. As you can see, it's pressed. I'm gonna get some of these corners down. It's ready to come out the mold right now. Every time I'm doing a video, my cookie cutter bath bombs always want to slip out before I'm ready to place it. I hold it here, and as you can see, this side is flat. And then I bring it over to my sheet. You can have a cookie sheet, whatever, and you just slide it up. And there you go. So that's basically all you do. I'm going to try to do a video of me actually making my mix so you guys can kind of get a better idea of what I'm doing. Try to pull this down for you guys. Oh, just giving me a hard time. All right, so here we go again. Take a handful of your mixture, and you see how it's mixed like a bath bomb mixture, but it's still a little more harder than I would say a regular bath bomb mix, and that's because of the mix of the 91% alcohol and the water. Now I mix my mix in a electric mixer, like a KitchenAid, and that helps because you can mix it really, really well in there. And I'm not saying you have to have one, but it really does make a difference in my cookie cutter bath bomb. But you can still mix it. If you've seen some of my other videos, you can see my mix I made is actually I need some more in here. My mix is more, I mean, I use a regular mixing technique with my hands to um, make my mixture. But, you know, the KitchenAid is the best thing. It's the best gift I've ever gotten. And there you go. Ew. Take it and you slide it out. And these are kind of like a no-fail kind of situation. Like, I've never done these and a recipe kind of failed on me. And I'm telling you, I think it's because of the 99% alcohol and the water. Like, I add the 99% alcohol. See, I go by eye because I've been doing these for a long time. But if I was to measure it, I wouldn't even. I mean, you would have to just really test your mix. So the next time I do it, I'm going to try my best to measure out for you guys. I know that's totally unfair. But I do about 3 little squirts in there while they're other 99% alcohol while the mixer is still going. Let it mix up really, really good. And then I add in about a teaspoon of water and let that mix for about a minute. Like, 'cause I want to make sure that all of the moisture is in all of the mix. Everything's going around properly. And it works really, really well. But the technique itself, when you're using the cookie cutter method, you really got to get your recipe down pat. Because it's really easy. They're not really hard at all once you get a good mix going. So like I said, here we go. 1 blob, like you do when you guys test it and you'll do that. Needs to be like that. And you know what? Guess what? Guys, you can try your own recipe that you use for your regular bath bomb mix with this method as well. It may work. It doesn't work for me, but it may work. You know, it might come out fantastic. If you have a good, solid, hard bath bomb recipe, it probably works really well. But this consistency is like in between Play-Doh and sand. It's the weirdest texture. See? The back is flat. Sometimes some people would not use the top part. They would turn it around and get the really flat part. But I like the little rough look. I mean, it's not rough, but the regular top part of my bombs I really love. And I also like with this recipe with the 91% alcohol and the teaspoon of water at the end, and add it in slowly because you still excuse me, don't want to activate your mix, if you know what I'm saying, because you will, so you have to be careful. And even after that, that's why I let it mix for so long, because I want to make sure that it's not a lot of moisture. Like, even if it feels like it might be too wet, keep letting that mixer go until it gets a little bit more dry, and then you start molding. Because even this mix, it seemed a little wet. I was like, oh man, I might have added the water too fast or not let the mixer go really long. But I just, you know, put the mixer on for another couple seconds, let it run really fast on the highest speed, or the next to the highest speed, because the powder will go everywhere. And then the mix just came out perfectly. And it was really, really awesome. And I was really, really happy. So, I think that this year I am going to, and you can see the crystallized Epsom salts in here, which I love. But this year, 2 things I'm doing different. First of all, I've noticed with some of my bath bombs that for my own personal preference, I feel like I need to add more moisture to them. I feel like they moisturized while you were in the tub, but it didn't really linger as much after the bath, from my own personal experience with my own bath bomb. So I've decided to add in more oils to my my recipe. So, and it's still, it's working for right now. I'll see it tomorrow. Make sure tomorrow when I do a demo to see how the moisture held the oils, and if it held in really well. I didn't use any coconut oil, and I'm a big coconut oil fan, but this time I left it out. No coconut oil. because coconut oil, although it's really good, it can be very drying. I'll try to zoom in here a little bit more for y'all. I can bring it up. There we go. It's like I said, coconut oil is really great for the skin, but it's also very drying. Hold on, guys. I'll get another glove. So I'm taking out the coconut oil indefinitely for right now when I'm making my more moisturizing bath bombs, because I do not want to lose that moisture towards the end of my bath. Like, so I'm gonna try and see if that might be what's going on, because it seems like it hides, the moisture hides in that coconut oil, and it just all goes down the drain, and it doesn't really moisturize the skin. Here we go. Get in these corners here. Make sure you press them down. And I am almost done. Oh, I would say I'm not late on Valentine's Day, but I could be a little late. I like wait last minute, and then we do like these fabulous Valentine's Day boxes, and it's all sold out, and then I'm scrambling trying to make more items, and everybody wants some, and I'm like, oh, I should have just made a ton of them while I had the chance. I'm so modest sometimes when it comes to my work. I'm just like, I'm gonna make enough and see what happens, and then it happens, and then stuff gets mad crazy. So that's what we're doing this year. So those are my two goals: making sure my bath bombs are more moisturized. They're more moisturizing on the skin is my goal, because we need it. These winter months are so odd. One minute is hot, one minute is cold outside, and nobody has time for that. So, but these are my cookie cutter heart bath bombs. They will be coming out February. They'll be done before February, of course, but what I think I'm going to do is I am going to put a drizzle on them. That's what I think I'm going to do. Drizzle some butters on there. And then this recipe has, let's see, 3 cups of baking soda. Aha. 1.5 cups of citric acid. I switched up the recipe because this is not just like a regular balm. This is more like a bubble bath melt. I mean, like moisturizer. Like, I'm gonna have to change the name up because, baby, this has some good old oils in here. So I'm gonna have to change it up. And a 1/2 cup of dried roses. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Can't even see. A 1/2 cup of dry roses, and a full cup of pink Himalayan sea salt, and a 1/2 cup of regular plain white Epsom salt. And we also have lavender oil, which is in-house made. It's been sitting, and lavender seeds, and we got hemp seed in there. Also, like I said, an olive oil. So it's like a real heavy batch. So this is it. It may fizz, but it's going to bubble more than it would fizz. So we got to get creative with the name. And another reason why I like this this mix is because it hardens up really quickly. So although we are very modest about making sure that you don't just move them around, because I still wouldn't just move them around, I also make sure that they are pretty much solid before I start doing any crazies. So, guys, these are our little Valentine's Day heart bombs. And let me zoom out a little bit. There we go. And like I said, you can see the roses in there. And this recipe made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wait, 13. Oh, I'm counting them all wrong. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, 12 heart bath bombs. So guys, I think I'm gonna put a drizzle. Want to do something different. And I got my cookie cutter from like Walmart for like $1, super cheap. You can use the plastic ones or the metal ones. The metal ones are much more thicker and then diameter. So they're a little bit more thicker, as you can see the base of them, versus the other ones, they're pretty skinny. So you guys, I'm out. I'll be back to show you the final look.